All right, let's go. We're live. It's Wednesday. Ooh, I got a bit of a juicy one for you guys here. This today was not good. Not good. Not just because I lost $330. That's actually the good part, is that I didn't lose more. At one point today, I was down just about 5 times that, which was really bad. I was struggling to find stuff to trade today. I was looking at stocks as I usually do, and just nothing was really moving how I really wanted it to, or like what I was expecting. Let me go ahead and try to show my trades here, and we'll go chronologically. I traded I only traded 4 different stocks today, which is still more than usual, but I'll try to go chronologically here. I'll do my best. I think I'll just go stock by stock. I think the first one I traded was RMO, which yesterday had a pretty cool day yesterday, just going straight up. And then today I kind of bought on this dip as it was surging up here. And this was a nice trade, although I didn't get as much as I could have out of it. I stopped out of my last 200 shares here at 12.15, and it did just kind of end up going down for the rest of the day. So this was a quick trade, quick $100. So I was actually up $100 on the day to start. But that changed quickly. My next trade was on, I think, DraftKings. Now, guys, don't trade like this. This is stupid. This is really bad. I just bought here in front of 63, or I guess just here at $63, 500 shares, so a decent position size there. And I just bought. There's really no setup here. I just was buying, looking for a dip, and I thought, well, at some point, even if I have to wait, we'll get that bounce, and you know, I'll be green on it. It came down so much, down to almost $62. I was down, you know, over $400 as it came down here, and I was like, oh man. So we got that bounce almost up to 63, but not quite. And so because we didn't get to my break even, I didn't cut the position. And then really this ended up just being kind of holding this position all day. It did come up to 63 here. It was a mistake not to take profits as it came up here. But the context that you're missing is that throughout this whole whole period of time, I was in other trades, doing other things, watching other stocks, in other stocks. So it's not like I just have my eyes glued to this one name while I'm in this position. But yeah, it's really simple. I just wanted to be in a trade, and I thought that this might bounce in front of 63. We didn't get that, and I didn't cut the position. So you know, this was a $300 loss. Up here, obviously, I was actually break even on the trade, up in the money, 8 cents right here. And again, yeah, I didn't take anything off. It was a huge mistake. I should have at least taken off, you know, 200 shares, 250 shares, cut the position size in half just to take off some risk. It did look like it was going to keep going. The market was looking strong, but you know, this is just it's down on the day, and clearly not a good one to trade. Low volume, and yeah, getting in this position was stupid, and it really just comes from the emotional trigger of wanting to be in a trade, just wanting to trade a stock, and that's not a good reason to be in the stock. So it makes perfect sense why this trade did not work well for me. And yeah, at one point, you know, all up in here, I was down only 150 bucks on the trade. But then I was watching another stock that I was in that we'll get to in a second, and during that time it crashed all the way down to below $62. I ended up getting out the rest of my shares here. I set an order at 62.21, got filled, and it did move a little higher up into the 40s in after hours, but you know, whatever. So I'm taking the hit on this one, and this is just really a pointless trade, dumb, stupid. Yeah, just trading for the sake of trading, and that's not a healthy thing to do. So all right, let's move on. That was a boring one. So I went over RMO, DKNG. Now let's go over SOS. This is my biggest loser on the day, and this one was really painful, man. I gotta say. So all right, I went long 1,000 shares. Really a good entry here at 55. I noticed this one, and you know, this is a small cap gapping up. I say this every time I talk about small caps. I say that I don't usually trade small caps, and that you guys know that. But it seems like more often I am trading small caps, and maybe that's a mistake because you guys know that big freaking loss I had on FTFT, and I've had big losses on small caps in the past. I've also had pretty big and consistent gains on small caps as well. So it's hard to say. I just trade the setups that I like and that I see. So this one here at 555, a good entry, but this one went against me, and as it was pulling back here, this was looking very, very weak, and I said to myself, all right, I'm just going to get out of this one unscathed if I can. If it comes back up to 555, I'm going to cut the position, and as it gained some strength back here, I did get out at 555 and got out for break even on that trade. It's a bummer because, as you can see, it squeezed up to 590, almost $6, pull back, and then up to 615 right here on this whole push. So this was something that when I zoom out like this and I just look at it here, it looks like it's moving higher. It looks like now it's going from downtrending to uptrending, and I have that in mind and I understand that. But I just said I've got to get out of this position. I no longer really like it or want to be in it, even if it keeps going without me. That's just something that I'm going to have to deal with, and I just got out of the position. And of course, it did go, and so that's a bummer. Really not much else to say on that. So once it got rejected there at 615, I zoomed out and noticed this downsloping resistance, and so I noticed that, and I thought, well, it's tested this level 3 times. I'm gonna look for kind of a higher low to be put in, and maybe another attempt of that level, and maybe we can break through it this time. And I just got in way too eager on this, just thinking, oh, I'm just gonna buy this dip. It's dipped a lot. It's due for a green candle. No, that's not really good thinking on that. Stocks can do what they please, and this one sure did. And I actually added to this position. I was in for 2,000 shares and really got hurt. This is really the trade that hurt me. This is where I took my loss on this. I averaged down 2,000 shares, tried to curl back up, and then failed, rejected. And this one just looks so weak. It was trying to get anything going, but it just couldn't. I stopped out here at 565 at the low of this candle and popped to 573, then down to 550, and then that was when I noticed, so it's interesting, I have this trend line drawn now, but before, as I was in this trade, the trend line that I had drawn was this one. So I stopped out kind of here as it was coming below that level, and I thought it looked really weak. I thought it was going to break. It caught the support there and then broke below, and then this kind of equally relevant trend line came in. It found support there. Anyway, it's hard to say. I really thought that this one coming below VWAP was going to be just done for the day, and I thought it was going to just keep going down because that's what small caps do so often. But this one really stuck around today, and it's just unfortunate because 20 minutes later, it's back to my break-even price, up here, 595. That would put me in the money. And then later on in the day, it hit, came through $6 again. So, oh well, this trade is nothing. I bought it, sold it. So anyway, yeah, that's the biggest loss for me today, except I was going to have a bigger loss. Check this out, guys. Twitter, crazy action. This is the last stock that I traded, and this is interesting, guys, because this does not happen to me very often. I finished up $425 on the day. Check this out. My first entry on this is a short of 1,000 shares, bold, because I'm down on the day at this point. I'm frustrated. So I took some bigger size on this, but while 1,000 shares short is pretty considerable share size, it's not crazy size. So anyway, I was short here. I wanted this to keep moving lower. The market looked like it was weakening. This has come down below VWAP, tried to come up and failed again there, and I really expected it to move lower, but I did acknowledge and I did see, it's very clear, that this is somewhat ballsy in the fact that it caught support here at this moving average, and what does that mean? Well, it's got some support here. This is where buyers previously stepped up to the plate, and you can see it tested this multiple times and bounced. So buying or shorting in front of support, typically not smart. Although before I took the position I acknowledged that was a risk, I still liked it because I still thought, well, the market's going to trump whatever support is there on this stock, and if it continues to move lower, then this trade will work. And quickly it went against me, I have to admit. And when I took this trade, I was like, well, my stop will be very simple. It'll be right here above the high of this candle right here. I'll put my stop at like 680, 68.80. I literally just forgot and then didn't do that. And then it went against me, and before I knew it, I was like, well, now where do I stop out? So really another spot to stop out would have been above these highs here. Didn't do that either, but as it came down here, I did stop out, and I said, well, this still looks bullish, and now that it's on a dip, I'm going to take the shares out like I forgot to do and should have done earlier. So I'm going to take advantage, and I got out 68.17, which is the low of this candle. So pretty fortunate there. It continued higher. Now check this out, guys. So on that trade, I lost. I was down at this high. I was down over 700 on this trade, and on the day down 1,300, 1,400 on the day. Oh man, I was so pissed. And I was really face palming too, because in hindsight it's like, yeah, this is the support. This is like the perfect time to go long. Like, what am I thinking? So anyway, I just got the direction wrong, and it's pretty rare that I get the direction just this wrong. I mean, this is really this would have been a really nice long trade. There's very few pullbacks here, very few red candles. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's a blank candle, 8, 9, 10, 11 green candles in a row, 12 if you count the blank. So that's, even just seeing that many green candles in a row is pretty rare on a stock. Anyway, so strong. Twitter was strong there. And then, so I cut the position there. And at that point on the day, I was still in the DraftKings trade. So I'm monitoring 2 trades at once. Yeah, somewhere down around 13, 14 down on the day. As it continued to be strong here, and I was watching the market, the market today really had kind of an inside day, really not too much going on. It is closing toward the highs, but for most of the day, the market was kind of just chopping around. But Twitter looks strong, and I thought, well, if we can have that push into the afternoon, this looks like it's targeting now the high that was made in the morning of $69. So I don't really ever do this, but I flipped long from my original short. I flipped long because it just looked really bullish, higher highs being put in, higher lows being put in. And as I bought on this pullback, I mean, I was so bummed. I literally bought, I was like, okay, I'm buying 1,000 shares on this red candle. I want it to continue higher, and I think, into the afternoon, it will continue higher. So I bought here. And literally, I kid you not, like 5 seconds later, it drops 10 cents. So I'm down $100, like that on the trade. I'm just like really? Like, really? Okay, I need to be patient. It can pull back. It still looks good. And it continued to pull back and continued to look weak. A brief bounce here, but continuing lower. And I thought, okay, here's the VWAP basically, and make or break now. And the market was really trying to go but struggling, and Twitter was looking weak at this point. But I thought, I zoomed out and I was reassured by the fact that it still looks good here. It's still, if it can bounce on VWAP, it still looks like it's uptrending. So let's give it a little bit more time, which I did, and eventually it got that strength back, some volume coming in here, and it finally made a new high, and that gave me confidence that the position was going to work, and that the ultimate target was here at $69 basically. So while it was up here in the 60s, 70s, I didn't take anything off. Why? Again, I'm really down on the day and trying to make that back. So a little bit of it is emotional for sure, trying to make back some of that money. So I didn't take anything off here. It had some choppy action in here. It had this surge up to 75 and then crash all the way back down to 55. So that's a $200 swing right there, which kind of bummed me out. But then boom, Guys, I was saved by the news on this, which the news was, let's see, what was the timestamp here? Right here. So Twitter shares spiked to session highs. Company says eventually people may complete shopping transactions on Twitter. That headline saved me. We got a surge, and I'm still holding all of my position, 1,000 shares, and we get this huge spike on massive volume here from 68.55 up to this high of almost $70. So when I saw that spike, I instantly knew that there was news. I had my live news feed open. I threw on my headset. I was like, "What's the news on this?" As I threw on my headset, the guy was saying the news headline, and I was like, "Okay, wow, this is a blessed. This is very fortunate for me, and you better bet I'm taking my profits now because we're over that $69 mark." So I took profits all in here, 69.30. So let's see, my first was 69.12 as it surged up here, 69.45, then 69.49, 62, 67, 51. It came up here to 97. I had an order to sell at 69.99. It just missed that by 2 cents, came right back down. I wish I had gotten another 100 out there because as you'll see, I got 100 out here. Then I was holding 300 shares left through this consolidation. I walked away from my computer. I thought, it looks good. It's up. I'm holding a very small portion of the position now, and it actually came all the way down to VWAP here, 68.60. So at one point I was up. So I went from down 700 on the stock to up, up in here, I was up 600, 700 on the stock. So I flipped like $1,300 on this thing. But then it came all the way back down here. So on my last 300 shares, I actually kind of gave some back here as it came down. Up here, it bounced off VWAP back up to 69. I took 100 out there. I was trying to get higher, trying to get up to 69.20. And in after hours, I was patient enough to wait for that. What's really interesting is that in after hours, there was another headline on this right here. And this is really weird action. I mean, really, but this scared me. I was actually on a call with somebody, and I was still monitoring this, but I was on a call. And all of a sudden, this candle just starts going crazy, but there's no volume on it. But this candle starts moving. I'm like, oh my God, is there news on this or what? And this is at 4:04. And there's this news headline right here, which I was wondering if it was about this. Twitter is said to have discussed $4 billion Clubhouse takeover. Wow, that seems like a big deal. But for whatever reason, there's no volume on this. It almost seems like these were all like delayed order. I don't know what's going on here because there's this huge surge of volume here, huge orders going in. I don't really know what this is. I don't know if this is TOS glitching. I don't have the answer. But there was crazy action up there, spiking to 72.70, which, I mean, I didn't have an order to sell at 72.70. Would I have gotten filled? I don't know. But it ended up coming right back down. It dipped down to 68.50 at one point. Anyways, through all that choppy action, I held my shares and was like, "What's going on?" But then I set my order at 69.20 and got filled right here on this little move up. And anyway, yeah. So that was Twitter. That was my day today, finishing down 331. But again, at one point I was down 1,500 on the day. So yeah, just. Avoiding disaster. That's what I'm calling this recap. Been struggling lately. I'm staying alive, but taking it slower now. Really evaluating my stop loss point. Yeah, man, me too. I'm evaluating where my stop losses should be too, because they seem. I mean, last Thursday there was no stop loss, and that screwed me up. Luckily, it was a green day for me though on APDN. Nice. Okay. Very very good. I'm in the UK, 17, learning to trade on demo account before I turn 18. So I have a good grasp. Any tips? And man, the tips are all on my channel, man, in these recaps. And where do I find the plays, dude? There are no plays, man. There are no plays. You come to the market every single day. I don't alert people of what stocks to buy and when to buy them, dude. If you're looking for that, there's a lot of scammers out there that are happy to help you. Don't trip on red days. You got this. Yeah, no, this is. I mean, this is a small red day, all things considered. 331. I made more. I made 397 yesterday. So over the last 2 days, I'm still green. Over the last 3 days, I'm still green. So yeah, this is just cost of doing business. But it was gonna be a lot worse if I hadn't taken that long position in Twitter. Twitter saved me, and my entry here wasn't even that good. I could have gotten down here at 68. That would have been even better. And then it hit $70, almost $70 here on this news, which yeah, this news saved me today. And despite making $425 on Twitter, I'm down 330 on the day. So interesting there. Anyway, so that's my recap for today. An interesting one, and yeah, avoiding complete disaster. That's what it's called. If you enjoyed this recap or found it helpful, please, guys, come on, hit the like button on this thing, man. I appreciate you guys being here, and I hope you guys appreciate me being here. And I will be back tomorrow. These recaps are every single day at 5:40 p.m. Eastern time, and yeah, guys, subscribe if you guys enjoy these recaps, because that lets me know that I should keep doing them. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Again, if you have any questions, you can join my Discord, link in the description. We don't post plays in there, but you can talk about anything trading related. But we don't call out what stocks to buy and when to buy them, and we don't do the work for you. You got to be an independent trader. Yeah, like the stream if you want to be consistently profitable, man. Yeah, thanks for that, man. I mean, just about every time I think I'm consistently profitable, I have a huge loss. So it's like, am I there or am I not there? I definitely can improve. Everyone can improve. I have a lot of things I can improve on. So I'm not even close to my full potential, which is encouraging and discouraging at the same time. But anyway, all right, guys, that is it for me, and I will be back tomorrow. And yeah, good luck, guys. I hope you guys are staying green and staying smart in the market. Today, not too much action, but I make it interesting, and I wish I didn't, because today was not a great day to trade, and regardless, I had way too many executions. All right, bye-bye, guys. See you tomorrow.